Hello, name's Shug. I'm a hammock guy. Today we're going to cover this subject. It's a sticky subject. It is, what do you do when your hammock strap has sap on it? When you've got that sticky sap on your strap, eventually it will dry up. There's some dried sap on this strap right here. But if you've got a strap and you put it around a sticky tree, a pine tree, some sort of conifer that is leaking, and when you take your straps off, they're all sticky and your hands are all stuck together. It's annoying. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? I don't know what you do. I can tell you what I do, and here's what we're gonna do. Now, I always keep my straps inside of a baggie. I just keep a baggie inside of my Black Bishop bag that holds my hammock, and that way my straps, whether they're wet, whether they're dirty, or whether they're clean, and as fresh as a daisy. And is a daisy really fresh? Smart alecky, cheeky little daisy. I just wrap them up and I put them in the baggie and they go in. Now, when they've got sap on them, I simply take the sappy area and I just find some loose soil. I would just rub it in the soil and just get that soil on that strap, and at least it's less sticky. It's dirty, and some people like a dirty strap, if you know what I mean. I don't. Now your strap is just dirty but not sticky, so that will take the stick out of it a little bit while you're out in the field until you get home. Now, what do you do? Normally what I would do first, I would take my strap and I would just put it in water, warm water, and kind of wash it off. I'd wash the soil out of it. Then I will take goop off, or rubbing alcohol. This is 91%, it's a little stronger, but whatever you have, some alcohol, I have it in a spray bottle here. Spray that onto my sap, let it soak in. I would take like a little wire brush like that, work that in a little bit. Same with the goop off. I spray that on my strap, rub it in, usually cleans it off. Another method is boil some water. I would say then let the water cool a little bit. So it's really hot. When you put your fingers in, it's still pretty hot. Put that in there, let it soak a little bit. That often loosens up that sap, and then take your little brush. All right, for the protection of everybody, but mainly me, here's my disclaimer. I don't know what alcohol or goop off or very hot water, and I think hot water is probably the least damaging. I don't know what it does to your strap over time. I don't know if it affects the material or not. I'm not a scientist. I'm the Lord of Lollygag. But if you're ever in doubt of your straps, just get a new tree strap. Just get a new strap. It's one of the really least expensive parts of your hammock system, and it is the part that is holding you off the ground. So, if you're ever in doubt of your strap, and it's good to just sort of inspect your straps once in a while and see if you see little tears, if you have a tear or a nick on the edge from something, keep your eye on that. Let's look at a little cleaning right here, because I know you want to see that, because you want a complete video that covers all the bases. Not just a guy telling you what to do, but a guy showing you what to do. Now this strap right here, as I've checked it out, there's some sap there. And as I go on down, you can see some sappy spots there. There's some sappy spots right there. There's some on the back. And this is dried sap that's probably been on these straps for over a year. So let's see if we can get it out, because, man, there is really nothing more exciting than watching an old man try to get sap out of a strap. I'm going to spray this with some alcohol. I'm going to take my little wire brush. It's just one of those old wire brushes. You can see I've used this a lot for all kind of projects. Pick those up at any hardware store in your wire brush department. Just going to work that in a little bit. And I'm going to spray this off with a spray bottle. That's just cold water. Wipe that off. I can still sort of see some residue there, but it's basically gone. So the alcohol works pretty good. Now we're going to try the goop off. And we're going to spray a little bit of goop off onto this area right here where I can tell I tied my marlin spike right there. So I'm going to get that goop off on there. I'm going to rub it in with my finger. And I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. And while I'm sitting, I thought of this. Keep in mind that your straps are dual purpose items. What you talking about, Shug? What's that mean? Well, you've got this whole thing right here, and if you're out hiking and it's not holding up your hammock, you can use it a lot of ways. You know, if it's a windy day. The thing I think about the most in the woods when I'm hiking alone is breaking a leg or something like that, and I've got to, or an arm, and I've got to splint it with a piece of wood. Well, you've got two nice straps that you could use to lash that on and, you know, splint it. But this is firm and it's thick, and I think that would be way better if you had to splint a stick or on your, you know, lower part of your leg or wherever you did. You have two nice straps for that. So don't forget that. Sometimes you can just use them to, you know, twirl them and entertain people or just yourself. Okay, so this goop off has been settling in a little bit. I'm going to just rub it with the wire brush some, and I'm going to wipe it, and I'm going to squirt it with water, and I'm going to wipe it again. And that, you know, that seems like it's gotten it off more or less. We all have different levels of how fastidious we are, fastidiousness. But you might want to do you know, a couple of rounds of that to really get it off. But a guy like me is not going to worry about it too much because you're going to get it on there again sometime. I have a really gummy, dirty area, and this is kind of stiff and gummy because this is the part that goes around where I hook this up, and it's on the tree. And it's normally pulling pretty well up against the tree. So I find that I get probably most of my sap right here. This time what we're going to do is we're going to put it into the water that I have boiled and have it in this little pot. And it's been cooling maybe 5 minutes, and we're just going to go on and see how that does. And I'm just going to put that in there for a little bit. How long? I'll tell you how long. Rub them down. It may just be because that's wet, but that looks better. But I'm going to go lay this in the sun and let it dry, and we'll come back and look at it. I laid these out in the sun for a little while to dry. Got a little paper towel crud, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. Doesn't feel as sappy, though I'm still kind of sappy. Where I had cleaned this one as well is looking pretty good. I'd say it got a lot of that off. I sure had a super time sharing a solution for sap on your straps. Woo, buddy? All secure in Sector 7. AI voice.